Hey guys, Brewery 602 Beer Reviews here at Brewery 602 on Instagram. My name is Marcus, and today I have a beer out of Arizona Wilderness Brewing Company, located in Gilbert, Arizona. This is their Peanut Brittle Ale. It's an ale brewed with peanuts and Arizona lactose. So they did use Arizona lactose in this. So it should probably be a little bit on the sweeter side. It does kind of sound like a pastry type of an ale. I've never had this particular beer from Arizona Wilderness before. It does sound very interesting, and it's pretty hilarious because on the can it actually says food allergy warning, product brewed with peanuts. Yeah, I talked to the guys down at Wilderness about that, and I was like, do you really need to have a warning on there? It says peanut brittle ale right on the can, but apparently somebody the last time they brewed something like this, somebody actually had an allergic reaction to the beer. So sad but true, and still funny though. I thought that was funnier than shit. Anyway, so let's go ahead and crack it open. Now, Arizona Wilderness is one of my favorite breweries. The stuff they do is, usually fantastic, and I do have my proper glassware here. So let's dive in, and it looks like peanut brittle, honestly, coming out in liquid form. So the beer does come in a peanut brittle, like a caramel color. It is full on haze. It does have a semi off-white head on it with really tight, compact bubbles. And actually, you can hear the bubbles going away, which is pretty interesting to actually hear that going off. You usually don't hear that in the beer, that carbonation. Anyway, let's get a drive-by aroma. See what we got. So I'm picking up peanuts for sure. Picking up peanuts, and I'm also picking up butter, peanut butter. Yeah, it does say it's an ale with peanuts. I don't know what the base beer is in this. I never asked. I don't know. Ale is so generic of a term. It could be, who knows, brown ale. It's not a brown ale, but it could be, all sorts of different ales. There could be so many different malts involved in this and getting so many different aromas that it's hard to pinpoint, where to go with it. Let me get a deeper aroma on it. A lot of peanut. So I am picking up almost a, like a buttery aroma. I'm getting a little bit of a, I want to call it like a stressed yeast aroma. I don't know if that makes any sense. If you could see here too, the head on this thing is completely gone. It is completely gone. Swirl it around, you really get nothing in there. So something interesting going on with the peanuts in this, and maybe the malts that they used or whatever it might be, or the yeast that they used for that matter, because I'm getting a bit of a off flavor, or off aroma, an off aroma in this particular beer. Let me see if I could pinpoint it. Yeah, so sometimes when the yeast stress out, they're in, maybe you underpitch your batch. So you brew your beer, you get, what's called a wort. You get that, which is basically just concentrated sugar from the grains. And you pitch your yeast, you put your yeast into that, and your yeast are going to start eating away at it, producing ethanol. That's, beer brewing 101. But just kind of let you know where I'm going with this. Sometimes if you underpitch your yeast, or you have way too much sugar in solution and too few yeast, those yeast start to kind of freak out sometimes, and they'll create a byproduct called diacetyl. And it's going to give you an off aroma. It's going to give you off flavor. It almost smells as if it was underpitched. And, these are all just my opinions and my experiences with beer. But it almost smells as if though it was underpitched yeast and There's like a diacetyl thing going, gives it a solvent kind of aroma, almost like a nail polish aroma when you get really stressed out yeast. And sometimes you get rid of that by doing what's called a diacetyl rest. You let it sit at a certain temperature, whatever beer you're brewing, and that the yeast will sometimes reabsorb a lot of those off flavors. But in this particular beer, it seems like it was rushed. Opinions, right? Everybody has one. So let's get a taste on it. Cheers. Ton of peanuts. I mean, they're going for the peanut brittle thing for sure. Definitely got the peanuts, but you also get the slickness. You do get peanut butter, which I don't think they were going for. I think they're going for peanut brittle. The peanut butter part, I think, it definitely is may be a yeast thing. Again, this may be the flavors they were going for in this. This is just my opinion. I love this brewery, so I don't try to knock anything they do, but very interesting. To me, if I were doing this blind, I would definitely say it had peanuts in it, but I would also say that it has diacetyl. It is a slick off flavor that shouldn't be in the beer. Again, if I was doing it blind, if I didn't know that this was a peanut brittle beer, but even that being said, I think it is off. I think there's something that my palate is telling me is off about the beer. I have done some BJCP judging before, and in my mind is telling me that there's something off in the the yeast, whether it's temperature, underpitched, whatever it might be. So that being said, it's drinkable beer. Definitely not my favorite beer that they've ever made, for sure. By far, actually, I'd probably give this beer a 79. It has a lot of the peanut character to it, but there's an off flavor that it's hard for me to get past. It's a solvent flavor that it's hard for me to get past because I've had it before, and my brain's now telling me, alerting me to the fact that it's there and to get away from it. So I'd give this beer a 79. I'm sure people would be able to drink it because a lot of people can't pick up diacetyl in beer. So it's just a real difficult thing for a lot of people's palates to come across. But if you were to have this, I think you might understand what I was getting at. So I give it a 79. But if you're ever at Arizona, check out Arizona Wilderness because they do some fantastic beers. This particular one for me is not one of them, but hey, you win some, you lose some sometimes, and normally these guys are winners. So again, my name is Marcus. It's Brewery 602 Beer Reviews. Please like, subscribe, follow. Cheers.